We are here today at Infirmary Pediatrics with Dr. James Harrell. Dr. Harrell, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Well, we're talking about a very important topic, especially for all those new parents out there. It's sleep habits for babies and infants. Now, my kids are 4 and 6. But I remember those first years, those were some tough years as it related to sleep.
Right. Well, we've had a lot of new babies in our practice, and I was just reviewing safe sleep habits for newborns and infants. And since the Back to Sleep initiative started back in 1994, the rate of sudden death in infants dropped from the 6,000 range a year to the 3,000 cases a year.
And that's what people call SIDS, correct?
Right,
okay.
Right. But since then, the rates haven't dropped further, and so the American Academy of Pediatrics has just was re-emphasizing some key goals for parents, and the first one is to make sure that our babies are sleeping in a bed by themselves in a crib that's designed for them on a flat, firm surface.
That's a tough thing out there too, because when your baby's crying, it's late at night, you want to console them, you're tired. A lot of thought goes into that, but really the best thing too is to get them back in their own
Once they're
space.
settled, yes. And sleeping on their back, that's still by far the safest way for babies to sleep. Even if they have reflux issues, it's still safer for them to sleep on their back rather than on their side or their tummies. And then another thing that's sometimes hard is they don't need any soft objects like a lovey or a blanket or pillows, or even when my kids were young, we had the little bumpers around, and that's now considered not safe either. So.
Right. Again, you want to comfort them, so you give them a stuffed animal or something like that, but really that can be dangerous.
At this age, in this infancy age, yes. And then if a mom has to, a lot of times with breastfeeding overnight, it's common to do that in the bed, but then once the baby's full, they need to be transferred to their own sleeping surface.
Now, what about in terms of the length of sleep, duration of sleep? I know that changes a lot, even in the first year leading through age 1 and 2 as well. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, the newborn or the infants are usually sleeping 10 to 12 hours a day. It's not necessarily all the way overnight because they nap during the day.
It's never overnight, Doctor.
Right.
It's never overnight. You want it to be, but it's tough.
Yes, it definitely is.
All right, so that's for the newborns, but then when they get a little bit older in that 1 to 2 stage, are there any tips on how long they're supposed to sleep at that age?
Well, it'll decrease some, but definitely the 8 to 10 hours range for sure.
And why is this also critical and important to their development?
Well, they just need to be rested like we do for them to learn at school or just in the preschool age, even just learning and just growing healthily.
All right, so we know some of these tips are hard to do as a parent because you want to be comforting, you want to be there, but some of the things that you need to do are the safe things that we talked about today.
For safety, yes.
All right, Dr. Harrell with Infirmary Pediatrics.